name is Stella Barami, and welcome to the Gifts of Connection Speaker Series to ignite and inspire meaningful connection in your life. We meet with a variety of leaders who create meaningful connection in their communities, organizations, and teams. Today, we are meeting with Tim West, slow food chef turned social entrepreneur and human capitalist. Tim's accomplishments include co-leading the Edible Education Project. He was co-creator of the Food Hackathons. He served as the global ambassador for the Future Food Institute. And in 2015, he was Fellow for Good at the Institute of the Future. In 2013, Zagat also recognized him as one of the 30 under 30 Food World up-and-comers. He has worked with major organizations such as Facebook, Verizon Media, Yahoo, Burning Man, Tesla, and many, many more. Tim is also a co-founder of Sundial Ventures, which seeks to invest in underrepresented populations. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tim.
Stella, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, yeah. It's such an honor and such a pleasure to get to speak with you today. Can you share with us a bit more about yourself?
Oh yeah, how much time do you have? Man, as we were talking about earlier, my journey has been about finding out and discovering who I am in this wild spinning rock. A lot of it has been inspired by a couple of different, what I call sort of food epiphanies throughout my life, which ultimately just ended up coming to this realization that if I am in service to building a better food system, then by addressing the challenges in our food system, it can help solve some of these larger problems we have in our environment, in our healthcare, and while creating jobs and opportunities and meaningful connection that creates and fosters community and trust, which is really that bedrock that is the table to which we all come to, and addressing these larger challenges that exist in the world. So in being in service to that, I've helped, it's helped me find myself, and here I am talking to you about all of this.
Can you share with us a bit more about the community that you serve and who it is that you're able to create an impact on their lives?
Yeah, sure. Well, I live here in the United States. I've recently, in the last year, relocated to the Pacific Northwest, but I grew up in sort of the suburbs of New York. Very beautiful, rolling hills. Spent a lot of time outdoors. So I think I'd be remiss not to include kind of plants and animals and nature as this extended community, just because humans, I believe, we have thumbs and developed neurofrontal cortex brains, which come along with the responsibilities to serve others, and not just our own human needs. So I spent a lot of time outside, being immersed in nature growing up, and that has fed my soul in so many ways, but also I've met a lot of other humans that do the same. And along the way, I've kind of discovered how I interact with nature, and one major way to do so is through food. It is literally consuming plants and animals. And that we've all kind of coexisted and co-evolved this way. So I've always found farming really one of the most noble jobs in the world, stewarding natural resources, ideally in ways that are regenerative and such that our practices and our habits and our necessities are actually helping build diverse, strengthened polycultures and ecosystems. So over the last many years, it's 20 plus years, and working in food, I'm surrounded by farmers and foragers and chefs, and kind of for many years, the people behind the scenes, the unsung heroes, the garbage men, the late night cleaners, the service staff, the critical workers. Those are some of the communities that I've called home. And now, this is home in the Pacific Northwest, but I've been very fortunate to spend a lot of my time traveling the world. And in the last 10 plus years, really on the more entrepreneurial side and the business side of trying to build systems that create meaningful, positive, lasting social and environmental change. So the entrepreneurial world, I'd call a community as well, yourself included.
I really hear you on that, in the sense of those who you serve not just being people, not just being one certain demographic of folks either, but that those who you serve are really vast and varied. Like it's including the plants, it's including the environment, it's including the world as a whole, not just taking humans into consideration, but taking really truly Mother Earth into consideration as well. And that this whole entire ecosystem of this planet is really who you're serving and really who you're bringing connection toward.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we are here in these meat suits on this spinning rock, and we're not alone. And I found, at least within myself, if I can keep myself reminded of that, it's hard when you live in the concrete jungles in the cities to remember just, the patterns of the birds coming and going. And I know that having now moved up here to the Pacific Northwest and being closer to nature, and I think in one day, my girlfriend and I counted 76 bald eagles. And the animals and plants have been moving north for quite a while now, because they know that, climate change is real, and they're following the patterns. And I think humans, when we're stuck in cities, we don't even know the phase of the moon much of the time, much less, the migratory patterns of birds and how the flora and fauna is changing with their shifting climate. So it's always nice to have that reminder of being back in touch and closer to nature, of who else is out there listening and how they're responding. And that helps me do the same.